Las Vegas, Sin City, one of the most iconic places in the United States, with dozens, if not hundreds of hotels, erotic entertainment, a gambling empire, Elvis, I guess, and a gambling empire. But how did Vegas become the opulent place it is today? Let's go all the way to 1829, when Mexican trader Antonio Armijo from Santa Fe, New Mexico, led a 60-person and 100-mule caravan along the Spanish Trail to Los Angeles, California. When camped on Christmas Day, a scouting party attempted to find water. Rafael Rivera, a young Mexican scout, wandered away on top of a mesa that overlooked the valley. 2 weeks later, Rivera rejoined the group and led them to the valley. The party noted the unusual fertility of the plains surrounding the springs, and thus they called it Las Vegas, which in Spanish means the meadows, or fertile plains. Fast forward to 1844, when John C. Fremont led a group of people into the Las Vegas Valley on May 3rd, 1844, to prepare for the possible war with Mexico. They made camp at the Las Vegas Springs and established a fort there. When the region became U.S. territory, the fort was used by different types of people for shelter. In 1855, William Brinkhurst led a group of 29 Mormon missionaries from Utah to the valley. They built a fort there, but due to many problems, the missionaries returned to Utah in 1857. The remains of the fort are preserved in the old Las Vegas Mormon Fort State Park. On May 15, 1905, Las Vegas became an official city. Over time, it became a small town with water wells, railways, and a street named after John C. Fremont. Las Vegas wasn't really anything special. It also ran into some immense financial problems down the line, but that would change. On July 3rd, 1930, Herbert Hoover, the president at the time, signed the appropriation bill for what would become the Boulder Dam. A year prior, Ray Lyman Wilbur visited Vegas to inspect the dam site, but due to the taboo activity of Vegas, the government made a federally controlled town for the dam workers to live in. Work started on the dam in 1931, and the population of Las Vegas increased from 500 to a whopping 25,000 citizens, with the majority of the workers being men across the country with no attachment to the area. It led to a great financial opportunity. A mix of local Las Vegas business owners and mafia crime lords established casinos and showgirl theaters to entertain the male dam construction workers. Because gambling would be profitable to local businesses, the Nevada state legislature legalized gambling at the local level in 1931. In 1935, the Hoover Dam was completed, but not without the deaths of over 100 people who died from the dangerous conditions of the site when building the dam. Southern Nevada Power became the first utility to distribute electricity from the newly completed Hoover Dam, and Vermont Street became known as Glitter Gulch due to the bright lights powered by the Hoover Dam. In 1940, KENO, Las Vegas' first permanent radio station, began broadcasting. In 1941, the U.S. Army established a flexible gunnery school for the United States Army Air Corps in Las Vegas. It would later become the Nellis Air Force Base. The Army didn't like illegal prostitution in Las Vegas, and in 1942, it forced Vegas to put an end to it, putting Las Vegas' longtime red light district, Block 16, permanently out of business. A year prior, the El Rancho Vegas Resort opened on a section of US 91 outside the city. 4 casinos were built around there, and a section of highway became known as the Strip. Las Vegas kept growing over time, and while the mob never owned or controlled the hotels and places due to Vegas families unwilling to give their property to them, this changed when Bugsy Siegel and his friend and fellow mob boss Meyer Lansky poured money through locally owned banks to the Flamingo, which would be different than the Wild West Standard Ventures at the time. This sparked a plethora of gangster-owned casinos. The mob's money, along with Wall Street banks, the Mormon Church, and other notable places, helped build ventures like the Sahara, the Sands, the Vermont, the Riviera, the New Frontier, and others, making it the first step that would lead Vegas into what it is today. Sadly, Bugsy was gunned down by an unknown person on the night of June 20th, 1947. Throughout the 50s, famous performers such as Frank Sinatra and the Rat Pack, Nat King Cole, Harry Belafonte, Bing Crosby, and even Elvis Presley all performed in Vegas. On January 27, 1951, the U.S. Atomic Energy Commission detonated the first of over 100 explosions at the Nevada test site. Despite the risks that were underestimated at the time due to radiation exposure, Las Vegas advertised the explosions as the #1 tourist attraction, even going as far as offering its atomic cocktails in the Skyroom restaurant at the Desert Inn. Around this time, Las Vegas's Chamber of Commerce successfully managed to get Vegas to become nicknamed the Atomic City. The tests would continue until the Partial Test Ban Treaty in 1963. The last explosion was in 1992. 1957 led to the creation of the University of Nevada in Las Vegas. And in 1959, the iconic Welcome to Fabulous Las Vegas sign was erected. In 1966, Howard Hughes, the eccentric hero of the American aviation industry and known as one of the most important people in the world during his lifetime, moved to Vegas and stayed at the Desert Inn. Due to refusing to vacate his room, he decided to purchase the entire hotel. Moreover, he spent an estimated $300 million on purchasing hotels, especially those connected with organized crime. His actions would change Vegas forever, with the mob eventually having minuscule, if not any control over the ventures of Las Vegas, as well as changing the image of Las Vegas from its roots as a Wild West city towards a cosmopolitan one. In 1968, Kirk Kerkorian would buy the Flamingo in 1968 and complete the International Hotel, the largest in the country, being surpassed by his own 2,100-room MGM Grand in 1973. In 1989, Steve Wynn built the Mirage, the city's first mega resort. Since then, Vegas has been changing over time. But one thing's for certain, it will remain an empire of the gambling industry for a long, long time.